Day 77. Day 77. And I want to talk to you about influence today. Influence, yeah. Growing up, I had all kinds of influence on my life. I had influence for good. I had influence for not so good. We all can say the same thing. So think about with me a statement or a comment that had a lasting influence on your life. Perhaps it was an example that somebody had, or perhaps it was somebody's idea of who you should become. That is an influence. So we are either becoming who we are supposed to be, or we are becoming who somebody thinks we should be. That's true. And so when I think about that, and I think about the influence in my life, one of the things that helped me with word choices growing up before I came to Christ was a wrestling coach. I remember one time I was using profanity to, show off or something. And I remember him stopping and looking at me and saying, "Chris," he says, "profanity is a shortcut for communicating in a less intelligible way." And I'm like, what? I was probably, in elementary at the time. And I remember we were traveling back from La Crosse, Wisconsin, from a wrestling tournament, an elementary wrestling tournament, and I was in 6th grade. And he made that statement, or something like that profanity was a less intelligent way of communicating. And so I stopped, and he had said something that was similar to that, probably not exactly the same, and it stayed with me, that idea that that our words matter, and our words say a lot about who we are, and so that had an influence upon my life. So think about influences that you've had in your life, and how it has impacted you, whether it was a positive influence, a negative influence. They can be all kinds. I do like one thing that Ryan Leake said, and he said this probably, I believe in his book, Chasing Failure. He said this: "Become today who you intend to be later." Become today who you intend to be later. That's good stuff. Why wait? Another statement that he says: who is what matters more? Invest in people instead of stuff. And I'll share with you one more quote by him, and this one's pretty good. Chasing failure took me further than chasing success. Chasing failure took me further than chasing success. That's pretty good. Those are influential statements. Failure took him further than being afraid to even try. So, Solomon. Let's think about King Solomon for a minute. This guy had influence. If you want to talk about money, King Solomon, his net worth in today's money would be $2.1 trillion. That's a lot of influence. What was his key to success? What was the key to his success? And it was the influence that he allowed to direct his life. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 6 says this: "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take." That's like, wow. That's significant. Psalm chapter 1, verses 18 through 19. "My child," and this is Solomon talking to his children, imparting wisdom, and it's about influence. He says, "My child, listen when your father corrects you. Don't neglect your mother's instruction. What you learn from them will crown you with grace and be a chain of honor around your neck. And then he continues, my child, if sinners entice you, an idea of influencing you, turn your back from them. They may say, come and join us. Let's hide and kill someone just for fun. Let's ambush the innocent. Let's swallow them alive like the grave. Let's swallow them whole like those who go down to the pit of death. Think of the great things we'll get. We'll find our houses with all the stuff we take. We'll fill our houses with all the stuff we take. Come, throw in your lot with us. We'll all share the loot. So there is some very strong influence, pressure would be an example being placed upon them. My child, again, he gives this admonition or extends influence to them. Don't go along with them. Stay far away from their paths. They rush to commit evil deeds. They hurry to commit murder. A bird sees a trap being set. It knows to stay away. But these people set an ambush for themselves. They are trying to get themselves killed. Just such is the fate of all who are greedy for money. It robs from life. And so the wisdom principle here is pretty basic if you think about it. I mean, listening to and following the wrong influences can and will destroy your life. Listening to and following the wrong influence can and will destroy your life. Solomon was basically saying, follow my wisdom, my influence. Follow my wisdom, and you will have a great life. You know. That's verses 8 and 9. And then verses 10 through 18, again, he basically shares that life lesson, you know. Don't run with those whose influence will get you into trouble. We all, I think, in a lot of ways growing up, had a bent that way. And even today, we still have a bent that direction, regardless of our age. Sometimes we have that, that desire to be a bad boy, so to speak. But when we think about this, and we really do, and we begin to examine it, what influence is going to be good for us? What influence is going to be healthy? What influence is going to be helpful? Solomon's appeal is for his son to choose the right influences on his life, which will lead him on the right paths of life. The influence of the wicked, and if you look at that and you examine their influence and what they were advocating and what they were wanting to do, was all about using, abusing, and cheating people. I mean, their influence, if left unchecked, as the passage showed, is a form of greed that will eventually destroy their life. So whose influence do you follow? So really think about that for a moment. Whose influence do you follow? Is it God's influence as he provides it through his word and through those who seek to honor him? Or is it the influence of this world that says, get all you can? It really doesn't matter how you get it. Just don't get caught. Our biggest problem is that we like to court the influences of this world. We neglect the influence of God as unimportant or irrelevant in our current culture. So we run the danger where we would neglect the influence of God in our life, or even devalue it in our culture and because of our culture. And it stems out of that aspect as us courting the influence of the world. So some good questions that we could ask ourselves in regards to influence could be this: Do I try to explain away or try to justify sinful influences in my life? The ends justify the means. Do I seek to follow the influence of God in my life? What is one change you could make this week to help you Lean into God's influence for your life. Just one. Just come up with one change. There really are only two choices on the shelf: pleasing God or pleasing self. Hey, for further study, I'd encourage you to read Proverbs chapter 3, Proverbs chapter 1, Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 37. And when we really look at this, who had real influence? Who was seeking to justify their choices? I mean, look at that in light of Luke chapter 10, and verse 25 through 37. Who had real influence and who was seeking to justify their choices? I mean, just a thought to have if you do further study in Luke chapter 10, verse 25. Well, that's it for our Devo. Let's wrap this up with prayer and head on over to the workout board. Heavenly Father, Lord, we praise you and thank you for your grace, your mercy, your love. We thank you for the opportunity to allow us to be in this space, Father, Lord, to use this platform, Father, to communicate your word. Lord, I ask that you allow our hearts and minds to be open to your word, Father, Lord, to allow your word to influence us, Father, Lord, in a significant and powerful way today and tomorrow. Father, Lord, that we would seek to honor you and we would seek to please you. I pray and ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ, by your Spirit. Amen. All right, hey, we're at the workout board, day 77. We're talking about influence. Whose influence are you following? You're either becoming who God is calling you to be or what somebody else is directing you to be. So, daily process, 25 minutes Bible reading, 25 minutes of prayer, 8 hours of rest, hydration goal, half your body weight ounces of water plus 10 to 20%. Calories, whatever those are for you. And McCoy is on the elliptical. Woo, look at him go. Yeah. All right, so getting a list, 30-minute workout. McCoy has gotten in multiple workouts today, and he is still going strong. So we're doing KB swings, KB bob and weaves, KB Turkish get up, and KB clings. And he's doing a somersault. Hey, there he is. Okay, good deal. So let's then demonstrate the KB swing again and try not to smack him. All right, so we're going down two-handed swing. You can do 2 KBs if you want to do a two-handed swing, or one-handed, do one in each hand. You can do a single like this, or you're right here. And remember, what we're doing here, this is a hinge movement. Our legs, our hips are what is lifting the kettlebell, not our arms or shoulders. And then we got the bob and weave. So I take the kettlebell, I'm holding it to my chest, and my feet are together. I'm going to step, and I'm going to go down into a squat. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm imagining there's a rope about shoulder height. I got to go under the rope and then back up. That's 1 rep. And then back, that's 2 reps. All you need to do is 16 reps there. And then the Turkish get up. Turkish get up. Can I have some room? Thank you. All right. Turkish get up. So we're doing a full get up. We've been doing the half get up. Remember when we do this, keep our eye on the kettlebell the whole time. That helps keep the kettlebell over the shoulder so it doesn't drift out and we have potential of hurting our shoulder. So right here, put my hand down and I'm going to push my body up right here. I'm right there. Keep my eye on the kettlebell. I'm going to lift my hips, slide my foot back, keep my eye on the kettlebell right there. Come up, foot in, stand up, and back down. So I go back down right here, foot out and down, eyes on the kettlebell, foot there, and back down. That's 1 rep. So, 7 of those. What are you doing? 7 of those per side. All right. Ooh, you almost dropped it on you. Okay, and then we have KB clings. KB clings. The other day, Lisa and I were doing kettlebell planks, and McCoy grabbed the 210s, brought them over, got right between us, and went right into the kettlebell high plank, and he was having fun. So right here, squat down. I'm gonna pop, explode up with my legs and my hips, and then my hand's gonna come up. Right here, from here, right there, back down. So, right there. And 12 reps there, repeat. You do this 15 minutes, 12. Man, you're working out with the kettlebell, dropping on your toes. All right, so get in as many reps as you can in 15, 20 minutes. You're gonna get the 44s now. Anyway, hey, have fun. You got this.